Welcome back to the daily discussion. So I have a tale of two nights of sleep. Yesterday, I ended up having 7.5 hours of total sleep time, and I had a very big crash at the end, like towards the middle of the day. I just felt kind of just a little tired, whatever, sluggish. It just wasn't really there. Now, I had about an hour and a half of REM sleep and only about an hour of deep sleep, which typically, if I don't have about an hour and a half of deep sleep, I do tend to be more tired that day. Last night, I got to bed at the same time, but I couldn't fall asleep for 2 hours. So I ended up getting 5.5 hours of actual sleep time. Or I should say, however, I was actually more awake today and I had more energy throughout the entire day today than I did yesterday. Now, there's two things that happen. One is that I actually got almost half an hour more deep sleep last night, even after not being able to get to sleep for 20 minutes, or I should say 2 hours. So even though I had 2 hours less of full sleep time, I had 30 minutes more deep sleep time, which ended up making me more energized today. Now, that's not surprising to me because as I've been tracking my sleep the last year and a half or so, I've noticed that is the trend for me, so that's not surprising. Now, the big difference is that even though in those 2 hours I couldn't get to sleep, I didn't panic, I didn't get frustrated, and I didn't go and do anything to try to, tire myself out. I just stayed in the moment, accepted it for what it was, and stayed in bed because that's what I promised myself I would do. If I get to a point where I can't fall asleep, just stay in bed because just being restful in bed can be almost as re-energizing as not, or I should say as sleep. So what I ended up doing was just breathing into the energy, focusing on my breath, and then I ended up realizing that there was just some energy stuck like right between my eyes, like just behind my eyes. There was just something stuck there. I just couldn't get it to release. So I just focused on it, breathed into it, and eventually I started kind of going in and out of this kind of like it's kind of a weird sensational realm where I was fully conscious and I was not falling asleep, or there was just something else going on there. And I just could feel the energy kind of clearing up and getting some clarity in my mind and in my heart and whatever. I just felt better about that, and that led to me getting into a very deep sleep for quite a while after I finally fell asleep. So to me, that was the biggest difference. Is I didn't get frustrated with the fact that I couldn't sleep. I just started paying attention to my breath, found where the energy was stuck, breathed into it, and explored it for a while rather than just getting frustrated and going and get on my phone or getting up and walking around and getting angry or whatever. I just stayed in the moment and let it be. So next time you get to a point where you can't fall asleep, try that. Try to see if you can just be bored or start paying attention and breathe into the moment and see where there might be some stuck energy. Maybe do a couple quick stretches or something like that and see if you can loosen it up, or if there's something more, like it said, internally in your head, see if you can just kind of explore into it and see what happens. So let me know what you think.